Hi everyone, I'm John from Rusty Chains, and I'm very upset today. This video is not scripted. Boy howdy, that always goes great. So I'm gonna do my best to be as succinct and clear as possible while talking about this, because I have found that when I'm angry about things, it helps me to do this off script and just fucking go. Just got demonetized in the first 30 seconds. Love it. Awesome. Alright, so, I haven't made any Payday videos lately. I apologize for that. I got distracted by Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail, which was fun. And then I've also been working on a longer video that's still coming. And I was going to work on it today, but that has been pushed because I'm now working on this video, and I'm going to stream after this. Yeehaw. But so July was a string of messes for Starbreeze. You know, they had good momentum in May and June. We got the progression updates and then Boys in Blue, both of which were very good updates, right? And then July, there was nothing, but as I've said a lot on Twitter, they've scored a lot of own goals and shot themselves in the foot consistently on Twitter. Not on Twitter, in July. This is why we script things, John. The first big mess in July was when Almir kind of rallied people and tried to get everyone to play the game, and he talked about, you need to play the game now or there won't be people in a little bit, and there won't be Payday to come back to in a year or two. You're not real heisters. That was the whole controversy. He talked about it with Troy, Red Archer Live, and that blew over, but it was still phrased poorly. So that was the first of mistakes in July. Next up was another Almir on-stream oopsie doopsie, where he posited, how would you guys feel if we made some legacy heists paid? Following that, he did another stream where he comes back and he goes, listen, I know we previously said all legacy heists were free. Some might have to be paid. I understand that Starbreeze is a business, and they have to make money on legacy heists or things they develop. I talked about it on stream 2 days ago. I'm not inherently opposed to them charging for legacy heists, but to have it come first as, no, they're all free. And then, what if they weren't, to some aren't? That, it's a sliding slope, and it's just another example of Starbreeze saying without thinking, which has been very common throughout all of Payday 3's lifespan. And this is another example of it. And then the other big things, July was supposed to have the big roadmap. That did not happen. I can't talk about why, as a partner who have some NDA info. I know why, but I can't talk about it. It's an understandable reason for it to not be out, but it is very unfortunate that it wasn't here. They couldn't get that out. And then July also had some fuck-ups when they finally added the compensation items, the cosmetics that were supposed to come from Syntax Error bundle and the gold and silver editions. Those came out in July, like the second or last day of July, and then they didn't work. They didn't show up for some people. They still haven't shown up for a lot of people. And for consoles, the claiming process was really fucked up. I don't know if it's working yet. And then some were duplicated for a lot of people. Some people had 6 of one outfit, and since you can't delete outfits in Payday 3, they were just stuck like that for a long time. So that was just a bad rollout. That was a messy situation. The other big thing that was the biggest problem with July was Mask Mania. You know, Noli's done a great video on it, talking about how Mask Mania was not thought out well. It shined a flashlight directly on some big problems plaguing Payday 3's level design, and just amount of levels in general. And it was a contest where you play heists, the same heist repeatedly, to get masks. One of the 4 masks was unlocked by the community. And even then, it was barely. So it was not thought out well. And they even mentioned they planned it for several months. But then the event went, and there were site hiccups, and things broke, and the rollout was flawed. And it happened while they were on vacation. Most of Starbreeze was on vacation for a lot of July. Some are still on vacation now. So it's an issue of planning, I think. You're trying to be a live service. This is our first event, our first live service event in Payday 3. Schedule it for when everyone's not here. What if there's problems? Oops. You know, that didn't have to happen. That was an easily avoidable pitfall, but here we are. I understand wanting there to be something to keep engagement high when there's no content, because there's no content in July. There's the gap between Boys and Blue and then the August update and the September update, which will have content, which is cool. I understand them wanting to keep that engagement up. The problem is the event was not structured well, was not thoroughly planned out, and I'm repeating myself. So we're going to jump ahead here and talk about today's Fucky Wuckies. Today they announced intentions to break up an upcoming skills synergy. Or upcoming plans to break up an existing skill synergy. For those of you who don't know, the skills Ammo Funnel and Replenish in Payday 3 are both very, very good. When you have Edge, Ammo Funnel puts bullets from enemies you kill right into your mag, and if you get Replenish, people you kill, you automatically pick up their ammo from any range. Put those together, you're always funneling ammo into your gun, you're getting positive as long as you're hitting headshots with a high-edge weapon. It's very, very good. They've announced they're removing the current version of Ammo Funnel, keeping Replenish, and then adding some new skills or tweaking other skills to kind of fill that gap and boost reload speeds for high ammo capacity weapons. Now, there's a few problems with this. There are several problems with this, actually. So I'm going to go through all of them. And keep in mind, I am not claiming to be a Payday balance expert. There have been many partners that talk about balance and do more so in depth than I do. I've done 1 or 2 balance videos, but all in all, I just played the game and say, this feels fun, this feels less fun. This is just my thoughts on the balance, but I'm not the balance boy, as it were. I think Noli has a lot better takes about it. You can see his video about it today. So my immediate gut reaction to this is the reason they've given for wanting to change it is it's a very powerful combination, and it's by far the most played combination. Everyone has it on all their loud builds, and that's true. I have it on all mine. Everyone I know does as well. So they want to nerf it because it's detrimental to the long-term health of the game, because there isn't room for more skills in the ammo playing field. So my question about that is, we already have the quick reload skill, which the new skills can combo with quite nicely. But what are we cooking here that we need more ammo skills? You know, why are we going back and doing more and more ammo skills? They've also said this is kind of detrimental to the balance of the game in general, because it's part of the things making Payday 3 too easy right now. And I am kind of inclined to agree that Payday 3 can be too easy at times. Right now, I can verifiably play solo on very hard without going down. Tooting my horn there. Toot toot. Can't do that on Overkill. Overkill, I still need 1 or 2 friends to complete. I can't solo on Overkill. Unless it's stealth, of course. But very hard I can do. Pretty easily. There's a lot of room here. The game is getting easier for sure. So I'm not opposed to nerfing something that is very, very strong. The problem with why this is nerfed. People have said since day one that the current skill system for Payday 3 where it's not skill trees, but it's skill lines. You just fill out lines, you get your passives. It's not very great, because it's all either things that don't do much, or passives. There are very, very, very few active abilities. You know, look at Payday 2, for instance. You've got Inspire. Very strong, yes, but it's a new active ability. You've got, I believe it was Shockproof, where you can grab the wires from a taser, put them together, shock them back. You know, that's a new ability you can do. Payday 3 does not often offer that. So that's not a thing. So this skill synergy is one of very few things that does offer these things. And by nerfing it and removing it in some part, you're just getting rid of one of the few things that excel in Payday 3, in the skill system. You're breaking up a fun synergy. People want to make builds where skills click together and are fun. And that's not happening anymore, in this case. There are very few of those synergies left, and they are getting shorter. And it's a symptom of something we've seen previously when armor was nerfed. It was, oh, everyone's using this armor skill. It feels like things are not being approached from a perspective of, why should we nerf this? Or why is this the most used skill? It's, okay, this is on top of the totem pole, take it down. No one is asking, why is everyone gravitating to this one thing? Yes, the answer is partially usually because it's better, but it's also the most fun. And the fun is going here. The fun, unique things are being cut out and pulled away, and there's nothing to compensate that. And at a time when the game is struggling in player base and in terms of content, cutting out these fun things is not something you should be doing. The partners have spoken about that. I'll touch on that more in a second. But this goes back to what Almir said last month, where he said, if you like what we're cooking, buy and support the DLC, right? So what you're cooking in the last 2 weeks is a bad event, miss your own roadmap deadline for understandable reasons, and then you nerfed a player favorite. Who likes that? Who likes what's being cooked in that situation? Oh, and then you fuck up the rollout for the compensation items too. That sounds mean of me when I say it that way. I know it does. Like I said, I'm angry doing this video. So that's where we are. So if you want people to like what you're cooking and support Starbreeze in your words, how does this do that? This was the wrong time to make these nerfs. Save it for year 2. This is not the time to be gutting what is fun and unique in Payday 3 when it is limited. So as I was listening back to that last section about the nerfs, I realized I didn't mention something else. This kind of dumpster shotguns, especially the Mosconi, because the new compensation skill has a cooldown where you can only reload or get the speed reload bonus once every 1.5 seconds. So it's good for sniper rifles, all one of them, but it kind of dumpsters the Mosconi shotgun, which people like to use and want to use, including me. You know, I don't know if that was an intentional plan here, but this balance change not only just nerfs the best things to give alternatives to them, but it makes the worst weapon in the game even worse, and removes the triple shot double barrel that was in the gameplay reveal trailer. Like, that's just gone. Why? So now that I've talked about the balancey stuff, I am gonna talk about the ugliest part of today that has gotten very bad for everyone. And I'm not thrilled with it. I gotta talk about it, even though I'm not, like, super involved in it. But here we go. So, this balance update was proposed to the partners a couple weeks ago, I believe at the beginning of July. And we were asked how we feel about this. All of us except one partner, all of us that responded, and Troy said this, Noli said this, I've said on Twitter, so there's nothing new information in this video. All of us except one person said, we can see what you're getting at, it's kind of strong, please do not release this yet, everyone will get angry. That was almost the unanimous response. And then they said, okay, thank you, and now they've done it anyway. The partners are not the be-all, end-all. I understand that they have no obligation, legal or moral, to bend balance entirely to the whim of the Starbreeze partners. That said, why ask? If everyone unanimously tells you it's a bad plan, please don't do it, and you do it, there's going to be mixed reception. The Reddit's been a war zone all day. A lot of people have been calling for Mio's job, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But this was another instance of what I was talking about, with Starbreeze shooting themselves in the foot. This is... I don't want to be mean, but this is kind of an I told you so. Because we all said, don't do this, because this is exactly what will happen. And now it's happening. Right? The Reddit's a war zone, the forums aren't happy, the Discord's not happy. Everyone's angry. And now here's the part that's ugly about it. A lot of people have been calling for Mio's job, like I said. It's not good to ask for people to be fired. Especially in this economy. You know, this shit's tight throughout the whole world. So I don't want to wish financial stress or anything like that on anyone. If you say maybe this person should have a different role in the company, that's one thing. But harassment is not okay. But then there's been other situations going around today where employees and, in this case, their partners are also then biting back. You know, there was a tweet from... God, okay. I'm trying to be as polite as possible. There was a tweet from the director's partner who said the partners are creating this era or aura and culture of toxicity and harassment. Troy's constantly said, please do not harass Mio or any other dev. Troy said this all the time, and I say Troy because he was the one being engaged with this on Twitter. So what can we do at this point? I don't know what to do. Because as I've said in the past, people at Starbreeze have told us, hey, you're too negative, dial it back. What are we allowed to say? And I'm sure the rest of Rusty Chains is going to get mad at me for saying this part. The other partners, Starbreeze, might not be happy about me saying this part. But... And honestly, I'm probably going to be mad at me for saying this part tomorrow. But today I'm fucking saying this part. What are we allowed to say? If we criticize in our videos and say this isn't good, we're deemed as too negative and told to dial it back. We give our feedback with almost a unanimous consensus in private. And it amounts to nothing. I don't know what we're doing. We have been told we are supposed to act as representatives of the community because we are in touch with our distinct Payday communities and our fan communities that talk to each other and just give us information and talk to us about their feelings on the game. The partners unanimously disliked it. Every Payday information congregation place or forum or website I've been able to find unanimously dislikes this. And now Starbreeze and the community, devs and their partners and the community are all arguing with each other, and everyone's slinging insults at everyone, and it's bad. So let this be the final takeaway. Jesus Christ, 20 minutes into this thing. Don't harass people. Don't bully people. If you are a dev watching this and you get harassed, don't stoop to their level, because it makes the whole company seem unprofessional. If you are a Redditor or a Twitter user watching this, don't bully people. You know, at Rusty Chains we always say, spread the happy, because I want you all to be kind to each other. I think that's the best way to go about it. But I don't know what the fuck to do anymore. Because partners have no capacity to change. The game's going in a direction nobody fucking likes. there's just such a disconnect, and everybody's getting angry. So I think everybody needs to be kind to each other, chill the fuck out, and take a break. If you don't like Payday and don't like where it's going, don't play. After this video and after this stream, I'm probably going to take a break, because I don't like this change. I don't like where it's going. But getting in arms and shouting at people isn't going to help anything. If these people want to make these changes and dig in their graves for the game, not for themselves, want to just seal the fate of the game, fine. But just remember that next time Starbreeze sends Almir or whoever out to stream and say, if you like what we're cooking, please support us, you have to take into consideration what to do when the community does not like your cooking. Because we saw it coming, we told you it was coming, here it is, the community doesn't like it, and now everything has gone to shit.